We have a new product, a new release upon the shelves. This time it's Panini Obsidian Soccer for the 24-25 season. This is the love or hate release from Panini. You will find many people throughout the community, throughout the hobby, have a certain strong opinion about Obsidian. This year we see the 24-25 release. This release every year is known for its shiny, glossy finish, its unique design finishes, and those die-cut inserts. Every company knows we as collectors...
I do have an affinity for shiny things.
As you can see on screen, there is the box. It's the same looking box it always has been. This year, there's a blue finish on the design. We've seen red, we've seen green, we've seen purple. So this year, it's blue. The breakdown of what you get per box is one pack with 7 cards. You're looking at a guarantee of 4 autos or relics, and it's retailing for around 450 US. So you're looking at close to 800 Australian dollars. One thing we know about this year's release is the print run is less. So it's quite surprising they've kept the price so high at 450 US. It's never been a cheap release. It's more on the high end, more exquisite product, the Panini release. But with a lower print run, I don't know how they're justifying that price. One other thing we know about this year's release, we're getting a mix of international and club teams within the Obsidian product. So here on screen, we can see what the design looks like. There's the Sullivan rookie base card, obviously the gold parallel version. As you can see, as I mentioned, if you have not seen what an Obsidian design looks like, this is very much what you can expect. Nothing majorly different. Pretty solid, and as I also said at the intro, it's a love or hate design. I'm a bit of a fan. I like it. It looks a little different than everything else we see in the community. Now we see 2 inserts. We got the Equinox of Nico Williams and the Supernova of Lionel Messi. As you can see, the design still kind of in the same bracket. It's a little bit unique, very classy looking, and a very crisp finish. One thing we have seen is a lot of talk and speculation about whether color blasts should have been included. As you can see on screen, they are vertical, and this one shows the Cole Palmer. Now we get a look at what the autographs and the autograph patches are looking like. There's the Lightning Strike Julian Alvarez, and on the right you've got the Vinny Jr. Volcanic patch auto. Last card we see on screen is a Mia Hamm auto, and as you can see on the writing above, this is the 25th anniversary set to honor the 99 US women's national team. So what they're telling us straight off there is we are going to be flooded with a lot of US women players. Let's look into this checklist. Here is the base set. There's 107 players featured. So as we already said, it is a lower base set than previously. As you can see, quite a few parallels. Not excessive, but still quite a few. So as you can see on screen, we have some clubs featured. As I said, we've got Madrid, Frankfurt, Barcelona, PSV, Inter Milan, Leverkusen, Atletico Madrid, AC, Ajax, and Juventus. Very sporadic. I'm not sure how they came about the decision to pick these clubs, but unfortunately, not everyone is going to get their club featured. We come down and we see the nations. We've got Spain. Of course, they're going to put in Spain. It's the only way you're going to guarantee you get your mail. We've got Brazil. We've got Germany. Here's the women's team for the US. We've got Argentina. Of course, that's how they get Messi in. Here's a surprising look. We get Al Nassr officially featured for the first time in a Panini product, an official Panini product. That is giving us a Ronaldo card in Obsidian. We then see England, France, US, Italy, and finally Chelsea. So a bit of a unique list. It's definitely not sure what it wants to be. You got some strong clubs, but you have a lot of big clubs not included. You've got the nations that are very cliche and expected, but then some other nations should be featured that aren't featured. So I'm not quite sure on that checklist. It's a bit hit and miss at the moment. Now we see dual jersey ink. So these are the patch autos that you'll see. It's another mix. Good to see some players that aren't normally featured are featured, but then, of course, there are some of the big guns like Harry Kane, Lewandowski, Mbappe, but a bit of a mix there. Now we see Galaxy ink. So this is going to be one of their inserts, one of those different looking designs. Here we see 15 players, and here we see a lot of legends featured. Everyone from David Villa, Forlan, Julius Caesar, Zola, and Toni Kroos. Lightning Strike is the next auto checklist. Looks like we've got a mixture of current and legends. You've got Batistuta, Alvarez, Pele, Fekir, Zidane. Very much a checklist leaning on the legends and icons. Magmatic signatures. Again, it is a mixture of current and legends, but more legends than current. Few different legends in here, including Veron and Patrick Kluivert. Matrix material autographs. So these are going to be matrix patches or napkin patches with autos. This one seems to be more heavy on the current players, but there are a couple of icons thrown in there. Only 22 cards included, but of course you've got all your parallels. Now it's the US Women's National Team Class of 19, 5 players. It'll be interesting to see how much chase and want will be for these players. And I also think it's really interesting that they threw it in this entire thing. Surely it should have been a bit of a unique special solo release, but there is USWNT Class of 19. Now it's the US Women's National Team Class of 99. 20 cards. I assume they're all the team that made that tournament famous for America. So there they are. Volcanic material signatures. 24 players featured. It is all current players. Good to see. Now we get into the memorabilia cards or the napkin patches or the patches, however you want to call them. We start off with atomic material, 21 players featured, and looks predominantly current players. So well done, Panini. Cutting Edge is the next one, 21 players, looks like 21 current players. Everyone from Theo Hernandez to Aragula to Vinny Jr., Pedri and Lewandowski. Eruption is the next one. We've got some very unique names as always in Obsidian. Everyone from Locatelli to Yamal to Cole Palmer. Galaxy Gear is your next one. Pedri's in there. Tillman's in there. Saka, Yamal, Nicholas Jackson. Another list of current players. Refreshing. Solar swatches. We're just really fancy naming all of these. This is, again, current players. Refreshing. Loving it. Trifecta material. All current players? Yes, we love to see it. Now, it's the black Color Blast checklist. Vertical Color Blasts this year. And as you can see straight off, that's why our Nazir are in the checklist, so that we get a Ronaldo Color Blast. We've got Messi, Cole Palmer, Maldini, Drogba, Pele, and Maradona. Next is Equinox, 22 players. Looks like all current players, which is beginning to be refreshing and shocking at the same time. Iridescent. These are a new case hit. Only 9 players. It's a mix here. We've got Jude Bellingham, Pulisic, Zidane, and Eden Hazard. Now is Nucleus. It's a triple player card. As you can see, like for Milan, there's Pulisic, Hernandez, and Leao. And as you can see down there also, for example, Argentina gives us Messi, Martinez, and Enzo Fernandez. Orbital, we only get 6 players. Cole Palmer, Pascal Gross, Pulisic, Ronaldo. Supernova, 22 cards, 22 players, all current, including Bellingham, Vinny Jr., Kimmich, and Ollie Watkins. And last part of the checklist is the White Knight. An interesting side note is there's been speculation that while this is on the checklist, these aren't actually in the product. So time will tell if they appear. We have currently got 8: Messi, Vinny, Gavi, Duran, Mbappe, Musiala, and the big boys, Maradona and Pele. As you know, on this channel, every review is out of 5, but there's 3 factors that come into play as to why that rating is given. Factor number 1, the price of this product is difficult to justify. We have a less print run, a not very strong checklist. The hit rate and return on value is going to be low. It always is with Obsidian, but it definitely is this year, as you can see through that checklist. This is a weight product. Don't buy this product, buy this in singles. Please be aware, if you have yet to get into Obsidian and you're only now discovering it based off this release, these cards never hold their value. Yes, things like Color Blast will hold their value, and a Messi or a Yamal auto will hold their value. But overall, in time, prices will dramatically drop crazy amounts going into later in the year to start of next year. So don't get caught out. Hold off. Definitely hold off a few months for some of these cards. Factor number 2. I don't think the introduction of Color Blasts into this Obsidian was necessary. While they're a bit different because they're vertical, so yes, that's going to draw some attention, and being the black design will also draw some attention, but were Color Blasts necessary? It feels like a desperate move from Panini to draw some extra attention, some extra hype, and some extra sales towards it this year. Factor number 3, the checklist is weak and overall a bit unnecessary and confusing. There is some big nations, but not every nation. There's a few clubs, but not every club. It is a mishmash of mess. There's no South American teams. The only Premier League team is Chelsea. Panini, you need to have picked a lane with this release. Go all international or go all club. Instead, we've got this. Couldn't you have done a release that was all international? And couldn't you have done a release that was all club?
¿Por qué no los dos?
Also, it is very cheeky that suddenly Al Nassr is featured in a Panini product. And that only is by chance, is it? It has nothing to do with the fact that Ronaldo plays for him, does it? So what do we give this out of 5? It's got to be 3. It's just a very stock standard, middle of the pack, mid-range release. There's nothing terrible about it. There's nothing amazing about it.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
While personally, I feel like the look of Obsidian is always crisp, sharp, and classy. As I said, the price isn't justifiable with a low print run and that kind of checklist. Adding Color Blasts in feels lazy. Adding Ronaldo in feels lazy. Having Messi in feels lazy. And the mix of nations and clubs is messy. I feel this would have been a stronger release and a more loved release if a bit more time and attention was taken to it. It feels rushed. It feels like they had to get it out in time, and they got it out in time, and they didn't care about anything else. So what do you think about Panini Obsidian Soccer for the 24-25 season? You excited? Do you like the designs? Are you a hater and not a lover of Panini Obsidian Soccer? Hit up those comments down below. As always, I love to hear from you guys. This has been Totally Football Cards. My name's Jeremy. Yeah, buddy. Let's get it.